iPhone 14 Pro Max and the Galaxy S23 Ultra are the kings of our smartphone. And in this video, I wanna see which one should you choose. So if you wanna buy a new phone, if you wanna upgrade, you can choose between the iPhone and the S23 Ultra because these devices are the flagship phones, the best phones ever. So let's get started. With the Galaxy S23 Ultra, we have a large 6.8 inches display. We have a 1440 by 3088 pixels, a dynamic AMOLED screen, and 120 Hz. With the iPhone, we have a 6.7 inch display, it's a bit smaller than the S23 Ultra, and it's a Super Retina XDR OLED display. It's 120 Hz, and we have a 1290 by 2796. Now let's talk about performance. Yeah, I know the iPhone is more powerful with the A16 Bionic that has 16 billion transistors, 4 cores, 4 efficiency cores, 2 performance cores, total of 6 cores and everything. But also the S23 Ultra is super powerful with the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So let's take a look to benchmarks. And here we have the benchmarks. The iPhone scores higher than the Galaxy S23 Ultra. So we have for a single core score 1880 and 5317 multi-core score. On the S23 Ultra we have 1566 single core score, 5179 multi-core score. So the iPhone is a bit more powerful than the S23 Ultra, but also the S23 Ultra is super powerful. Now the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is like an A14 Bionic in the single core score. Yeah, it's like an A14 Bionic. Now let's talk about speed. The iPhone has 6 GB of RAM and the S23 Ultra has 8 GB of RAM, and you can go up to 12 GB of RAM. But because the iPhone has a more powerful processor, because iOS don't take that much power of processing power, the iPhone is faster than the S23 Ultra. Yes, 6 gigs of RAM on iPhone is faster than 8 or 12 GB of RAM on Android, which is absolutely fantastic. But the S23 Ultra is super fast. You can search on YouTube for a speed test between these phones, and you can see that the iPhone is a bit faster in maybe most apps, but the iPhone is still faster. Let's talk about storage. The iPhone has 128 GB of storage and 256, 512 and a terabyte of storage. And if you don't know, 1 terabyte means 1024 GB. The S23 Ultra now has, for the base model, 256 GB. The iPhone for the base has 128 and this one has 256. Then you can go up to 512 and 1 terabyte. But there is a link. The link is in the description below. You can check it, and you can get the 512 GB version with the same price as the 256 GB version on the S23 Ultra. You can get a $150 instant Samsung credit by checking the link down below. Maybe here or here. I don't know where YouTube wants to put the description. Now let's talk about the camera. With the iPhone we have a 48 megapixel. It's a big upgrade from the iPhone 13 Pro Max to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The 13 had a 12 megapixel and now we have a 48 megapixel, which is absolutely fantastic. But with the S23 Ultra we have more, like maybe 200 megapixel. Yes, 200 megapixels. So yeah, 200 will be better. But yeah, the iPhone the iPhone 13 Pro Max had 12 megapixel, and these 12 megapixel were the best 12 megapixel on any smartphone, because the A15 Bionic in the iPhone 13 Pro Max is super powerful. So the camera quality will be better than a normal 12 megapixel camera. 12 megapixel on Android and iOS is like maybe 64 or maybe 108 megapixel. Now with the 48 megapixel, we also will have a better quality than a normal 48 megapixel, maybe like 200. But in some shots, the iPhone will be better in camera quality, and in some shots, the S23 Ultra will be better. Now with video recording, with the iPhone you can do 4K 60. With the S23 Ultra you can do up to 8K 30. But the video quality on the iPhone, the 4K 60 video quality is better than the 8K 30 on the S23 Ultra, and it's better than the 4K 60 if you switch to 4K 60 on the S23 Ultra, because the camera on the iPhone is the best with the A16 Bionic, because the A16 Bionic is super powerful, so the camera will be also super powerful. So that's why the video recording is better on the iPhone. Yeah, that's it. Now let's move to the battery life. Before I show you the battery life comparison between the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I just wanna show you the battery life of the iPhone 14, the standard iPhone 14, because this is incredible with the 12 hours. Now, Ultimate iDevice first did a battery comparison between the iPhone 14 and the Pixel 7, and this is incredible. The iPhone 14 lasted 12 hours. 12 hours and 10 minutes, and the Pixel 7 lasted 10 hours and 18 minutes. The Pixel, yeah, that's great. That's a fantastic battery life. The iPhone is better with 12 hours and 10 minutes. But in some other videos, the iPhone 14 lasted a bit less. So the iPhone 14 lasted, let me see, here you can see that it lasted 11 hours and 9 minutes, which is incredible. 11 hours. Now in other videos,
What's up, everybody?
No,
this
that's
is my device man.
Okay, so the iPhone 14 can last 11 hours. 11 hours and 9 minutes, and sometimes 12 hours. And the Pixel 10 hours and 18 minutes. But maybe in other videos the Pixel will last less. But this is incredible. But let's see the Pro Max, what it can do. Okay, so as you can see here, the Pro Max lasted 11 hours and 33 minutes. And here, the 14 lasted 9 hours and 29 minutes. Like sometimes it lasts 10 hours, 11 hours, but not less than 9 hours. It's like the 13. A 13 lasted 9 hours and a half, and this also. Now, maybe sometimes the 14 will last less, the 14 Pro Max will last less, but not less than 10 hours and a half. Like in another videos, it lasted 11 hours and 28 minutes. Now it lasted 11 hours and 33 minutes. The Pro, the iPhone 14 Pro, it is not bad at all, but it is less than the other smartphones. It's only 8 hours and 58 minutes. But that's great, it's fantastic. The Plus 11 hours and 9 minutes, which is incredible. Now the S23 Ultra. As you can see here, Samsung official claim for the battery life of the Ultra are the following: S23 Ultra battery life numbers: audio playback 99 hours, iPhones 100 hours, 22% longer than S22 Ultra, video playback 26 hours, 30% longer than S22 Ultra. The 14 Plus can do 29 hours or maybe 30 hours of video playback. The Pro Max 29 hours of video playback. But the iPhone has a bit more. It lasts more. It's lasts a bit more than the S23 Ultra. So iPhone wins. Now, which one should you choose after this long video? If you want to save money, goes the iPhone. If you want extra power, goes the S23 Ultra. Like the iPhone has a more powerful processor. If you want a phone for gaming, if you play games on your phone, you need to go with the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And if you just want to take some shots, because you can get the 512 gigabyte version at the same price as the 256, you can go now with the S23 Ultra. Photos will take space from your storage, so that's why you can choose the S23 Ultra in this place. Right. But 128 gigs is sufficient for taking photos. Like, you choose. If you want to save money, go with the iPhone. If you want more power, go with the S23 Ultra. Both phones are fantastic. The S23 Ultra has One UI 5, the iPhone iOS 16, so many customizations. Yeah. Now, you need to click the subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one, and the like button.